Hey everybody, it's August 4th. We've had a little bit of a break in the temperature. It's only 85 today, and that's, man, compared to what we've been having, I'll take it. So I thought I'd just give you a walkthrough of where everything is here at the beginning of April. I mean, I think things are getting ready to crank up, so let's see if we can take us a quick walk. These all over here are brand new that I started this year in this corner. I got some Chincoteague Celeste, White Madeira #1. I've got some Brooklyn Whites, a Chicago Hardy, a Negro de Agde. Pretty much that's what I've got over there. Stella hasn't put any figs on either one of them. I got two of them, and neither one have put on figs, even though I pinched them, both of them. I've already got two figs off of the Coeur de Bois. The video's on it. They're big boys. They look very similar, the leaf pattern, as far as with Stella. And I believe the figs look similar, even though I've never had a Stella myself to judge it. This is my Black Madeira KK. Got figs, but we'll see whether I get any of those. They take forever. That's a Figo Preto. The winter was really hard. Killed one of my Figo Pretos. I had two. This one is just coming back. Here we are in August. You can see it's not very big. Incredible fig. Last year, probably my favorite fig of last year was Figo Preto. So far this year, by far, my favorite fig is this boy down here. That's the Del San Juan and Grand. I've had two of those, and man, that is a spectacular fig. Floria's probably given me 4 or 5 dozen, and it's still producing. So, still ripening up. Floria, I got 2 Florias. I got another one right there on the deck, right down here. Both of those are producing pretty much every day. I get 4 or 5 of those right now. I got some other little ones down here. I got a Smith here with figs on, but none of them ripening yet. I've got a Cadota, which finally put some figs on. There, you can see right there. So they'll probably hopefully get them later in the season. This next to it is a Albacore de Mola Blanca. I have another one over there too that's got some figs on. This is Paradiso Bronze, which if you let the figs hang on here until they get some bronzing stains, sugar stains, they are really good figs as well. This here is Sister Madeline's Green Greek. Got figs all over, but it's a late season fig. This over there is Côte d'Am Blanc. Incredible fig. This one here is a Socorro Black. I have 2 of those, one down on the deck a little bit lower. This is another Black Madeira, but this is not KK, it's just Black Madeira from Madeira Island. This is Texas BA, which is supposed to be very similar to a Smith in flavor profile. This is a Green Nazareth. I have 2 of those. No figs on yet that I don't see. This is a Sunrise. This is a San Pedro fig. Some people try to say it isn't, but my experience has been it is. Even though it's got figs on, I don't think I'll see any of them ripen, but we'll see. Long Duke. Got 2 big boys here. But I probably could pick them. They're pretty soft, but I'm letting them hang there to really get busting with flavor. And that's got, pretty decent amount of figs all over the tree on this Long Duke. Got some more over there. I got basil there in the front, some tomatoes, but most of them over there are still young and no fruit on. This here is Scott's Black, LSU Scott's Black. My first year with it, I got it last year at the end of the season, and so I've got a couple figs on it, not much, literally a couple figs that I'm watching, because I've never had one of those to try. Cherry Cordial, same thing. I've never had one. I've never tasted one, but I've got a few down in here ripening that I'm keeping an eye on. This is my other Socorro Black. You can see a good amount of figs on it, but none of them ripening yet. This is my Red Lebanese Becca Valley. I've picked probably half dozen or so off of it already. Got a couple turning there, but they're nowhere close to being ready. And of course my Petite Negro over here, which is a dwarf tree, but man, prolific. I don't know if I've ever seen a tree put as many figs on as this little tree right here has done. I mean, look at the figs on every single branch is that way. Just insane amount of figs. They're good figs. Back here I got a Peter's Honey with a few figs on. That is a Secret with a bunch of figs on. A Marseille Black VS there with some figs on. This is the other Albacore de Mola Blanca. Coming down off the deck, I've got a Violet Sapor with some figs on. Watching them, that's a good fig. My other Stella with no figs. LSU Tiger, traded with a buddy of mine this year for this. Got a few figs on, never had that, so I get to try that. Pellegrino, I've never had one of them, but I got some figs on, hopefully they'll ripen. Negra de Agde, also aka Cherry Twizzler. I have this one. I had two figs right here that I was ready to pick. You can see what's left of the ones, and I believe birds got it though. Wasn't like the squirrel. I haven't had any other ones being taken like squirrel, but I think birds tore those up. But it could have been a squirrel. I'm just seeing up here. I didn't see this before, laying on my deck. Something got in there and tore it up. It might be another squirrel. I'll have to set my trap again. This is Car figs. Good fig, man. Car is a pretty fig, big, delicious. This is my La Magdalene. I've got several. Matter of fact, I picked 3 off of it today. Little honey figs. They're good. White Marseille. I got a few figs waiting to watch. Never had that before. Waiting to try that. And Raspberry Latte, which I've also never had one of. I'm watching. This is my LSU Purple. It grows like crazy. It's so thick on the interior of that bush. Look how thick it is. It's got figs on. But again, I've never really had a really good ripened one off of here either. So hopefully this year I actually get to try these. Teramo, figs all over it, but none of them ripening yet. Coming down the line, that's my Smith. It's grown nice, but no figs, which will prove that it's not really good in 7B if we can't get figs off of it. So we'll see after this winter, when it comes back next year, if it's dead again and we start all over, it's probably going to be proven that it's not really viable here, but we'll see. This here is Ronde Bordeaux. It's grown back nicely, but all the figs are small, not ripening yet. Usually an early fig, but the winter killed it all the way back to the ground. So another Italian 258 in ground here is spending all of its energy trying to grow. This is Madeleine de Saison. Got some figs on, but none of them ripening yet. This one right here is a top tier by far. Excellent fig, White Madeira #1. Incredibly tasting fig. I mean, this fig is delicious. And it's got some figs on that I'm watching, but they haven't really started ripening yet down in there. So we'll keep an eye on that. And then another Peter's Honey here. Got a few figs in there, not a lot, but a couple figs down in there that I'm watching. This is Ravin de Caus. And I got a couple figs, which I'm believing were Breba figs, but I've not seen any more getting ripe, darkening. I think they're the main crop, which are going to be a little bit later in the season. I'm watching the Brooklyn White for figs to start ripening. I've been getting Brebas, but we haven't really kicked into main crop yet. That's a little bit later in August when these will really start to roll. But as you can see, I mean, it's just so loaded with figs. It's crazy. I skipped a couple over here. This one here is my Olympian. Died back to the ground, came back. Now it's got figs all over it. Pretty heavy with figs. Good fig too, Olympian is. Hopefully they'll ripen for me this year. I don't know, they're all pretty small still. My Chicago Hardy, loaded with figs, but nobody's ripening up yet that I've seen. He's really grown well. That over there is Colonel Littman's Black Cross. 3rd year in the ground. Never seen a fig, but this year I have 1 fig on there. Whether it'll ripen, I don't know. We'll see. This is another Peter's Honey here. This here is Janeri fig. And I've this 3rd year in the ground for it. And finally, I got some figs on it. This is supposed to be, the claim to fame to this is they get really big, like tennis ball size big. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. This is one of my favorite honey figs, Robert's Golden Rainbow. It's got some little figs on there. I don't know if they're going to have time to get there before the season's over. This is my Azores Dark. Over here, got a good amount of figs, but they're They're not ripening up too fast. That one's still firm. So there's another one down there. He looks like he's doing some pretty cracking. Let's see. I think I'll give him one more day, even though he looks pretty nice. I think I would like him a little bit softer. All right. This is my Renata Unknown. It's a Adriatic fig, green with a red interior. I only got 2 figs off of it last year, and then when I planted it this year, as happens sometimes when you plant them, it just kind of went into stall mode for a long time, and then it started growing, and it's still doing that. All of its energy is going into establishing the tree and bush and root system, which I'm okay with. I didn't get any figs this year on it. I don't see any yet anyway. And it looks like even if we get them at this point, it would be questionable whether they would ripen. So, but it is what it is. I'm in it for the long haul, so once this gets established, hopefully it will be a good producer in the future. This is my in-ground Negra de Agde, and it weathered pretty good through that, and it was a bad winter. This one came through okay, actually. It looks like the other ones over there that died back to the ground, but this one didn't. It was probably about 50% loss on this tree, maybe even 30%. It's got some figs on them, but they're not ripening yet. Same thing with my Hog Island. This tree probably lost about 30% of the tree to the winter, and so it had a slow start because of that, but lots of figs on it. Lots of figs all over it. They just haven't started ripening yet. That's a really good fig. Has a nectarine tail end taste when you eat that, almost like a nectarine. This back here is my Sweet Diana, which is a Celeste variant. The figs are supposed to get like an ashen purple, light purple when they're ripe. Got some figs on that hopefully we'll get to see about this year, but they haven't turned on yet. And then, to last but certainly not least, my Celeste, which the last few days I've been coming out, I'm finding a few here and there that are, you just look at the number of figs on this tree, and it's a little daunting. This is going to be a massive producer this year. There's one turning in here. He's not quite soft enough yet, but starting to ripen, starting to come into the main season here, and when it does turn on, it'll be on like a lot. Like this tree goes from 5 or 6 here and there to 15, 20 to 80 to 100 to 300 in like no time. When this tree starts cranking them out, it cranks them out. I mean, it is a producer for sure. But you can see how many figs are on it. It's just, you can see how many they're getting dark now. So we are getting closer. We're definitely getting closer here. There's one that's ready. He's soft. Let me check this other one. Oh, it came off of my hand, so I guess he's ready. There's a couple. Celeste. There's probably going to be more on here that I'll have to, after I get off the recording here, since it's already a long video. But I have 2 Celeste. This is the mother tree I've got. It's so big, I'm going to have to prune it this year. You can't even see, get a concept of how big it is. But it's enormous. I mean, it's easily 20, 25 feet tall. I'm going to prune it pretty good this year, just because it's not even making sense to be this big. I mean, I'll be feeding some birds. I guess that's not a bad thing overall, but man, I just squished this one. So you know what I'm gonna have to do? I'm gonna have to eat that. I'm gonna have to eat that. Celeste. It's such a good fig. My gosh. All right, guys. I just thought I'd give you a walk through the farm. It's where things are. We're getting ready to turn on the Celeste for sure. And I'll give you some videos as we do. Be blessed.